Many of you come here and you've seen the evolution in the last few years. We're in a beautiful hotel here at Hilton, but there are lots of other product available across the island being used on the Airbnb market space. A lot of people are making private investment into these areas to unlock opportunities within the context of the real estate market on a very beautiful island of very high standard of living, which is something that we've seen evolve over the course of the last few years to provide opportunities for ordinary Barbadians. And therefore, the mechanisms through which we allow from a policy perspective for people to extract value from having a sustainable investment in property is something that we need to ensure that we have the right policy mix between the investment required, what government incentives will come into play with respect to delivery of that, and allowing ordinary people in Barbados working collaboratively with the stakeholders to be able to build a very resilient economy. And that is part of the mission transformation agenda that, as a government, our focus is to deliver, to allow people to be able to participate fully in the economy. But as you heard earlier, one of the areas of concern that we definitely have relates to the valuation exercise. Because we've had, and the Revenue Commission can attest, I think many in this room can attest, the value that one puts on your property for insurance purposes versus the value that you put on your property for tax purposes versus the value that you put on your home when you want to sell it. Three different competing objectives. Three different competing objectives. So you will have persons who will object every year to the Revenue Commissioner on the value of their property. But when it comes time to having a negotiation about selling that property, all of a sudden the valuation is much higher than what the Revenue Authority has. For insurance purposes, you would appreciate, because as we want to ensure that we build resilience, we find a situation where persons are underinsured because obviously the valuation that you're using with respect to the premium obviously is incompetent. And therefore, the regulations around valuation for these purposes have to be, especially in a small island developing state, we have to get this right. Because all it takes is a significant natural disaster, and then people are exposed for different reasons. And therefore, we want to see very clearly, working with the stakeholders, which we will be doing very shortly, is to bring a new valuation bill to Parliament that will help to resolve some of these issues, but it requires education at all levels. Because when you think we may be wanting to pay less taxes, but for insurance purposes you have a different valuation. For market purposes you have a different valuation. And therefore we have to get the standards right with respect to how these things are going to be done. Because we will not be doing ourselves a good service if you're having these different perspectives in terms of valuation.